Hello and welcome to FIA Connect and another virtual panel discussion. My name's Douglas Barry and I'm Senior Fellow for Military Aerospace at the International Institute for Strategic Studies. Having heard in the previous panel the UK, Swedish and Italian government views on combat air, it's now industry's turn, with senior representatives from the UK, Sweden and Italy to discuss how the dialogue among the three national industries is progressing as each country seeks to meet its future combat air requirements. Providing industry insight and to answer questions, I'm delighted to be joined by Michael Christie, the Director of Future Combat Air Systems for BAE Systems on behalf of UK industry, Peter Nilsson, Technical Director for Saab on behalf of Swedish industry, and Andrea Nativi, Senior Vice President for Market Analysis at Leonardo on behalf of Italian industry. Hello, gentlemen. I'm delighted to have you with us. The format for today's session will be as follows. We'll hear statements from each company's CEO, followed by an introductory brief from each of our panelists. Then we'll move to questions. So without further ado, let's get underway with some opening statements from the CEOs.
Thank you, Doug, for the introduction, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here with you today. Saab has a long history in building world-class fighter aircraft. Since 1937, we have delivered more than 4,000 aircraft, serving air forces in many different countries. With the Future Combat Air System program, we take our proud history further into the future. I would like to start with the announcement that Saab will open an FCAS center in the United Kingdom. It's a hub for our participation in the program. Saab is committed in building a long-term relationship with the UK, and in connection to that, we will make an initial investment of £50 million. Sweden and Saab are very firm in our long-term strategy concerning the combat aircraft capability. Combat air is a key component of the Swedish defence policy and defined as a national security interest by our parliament. A common denominator in all of Saab's fighter aircraft developments has been new innovative solutions. With our newest fighter, Gripen EF, we have managed to solve military aerospace's Gordian knot, namely to reap the benefits of next-generation computer development in complex platforms. Our success in separating flight-critical and mission-critical software will make Gripen E the world's first truly open architecture fighter aircraft in production. Today's announcement, together with our investment, is a natural step following 2 years of studies, analysis and concept work with our British colleagues and in close cooperation with our governments on how to best deliver a program to meet our Air Force's future challenges. I would also like to highlight the recently performed initial trilateral industrial study with our British and Italian colleagues, which points in the same direction and shows very promising results. I see this partnership as a natural step forward. Europe needs a strong military aerospace industry, able to give our customers state-of-the-art combat air systems of systems also in the future. With Italy on board, we are three strong aerospace industrial nations sharing the same vision and goals in delivering affordable and efficient future combat air systems. A strong joint partnership around the future combat air system will also guarantee Gripen and Eurofighter Typhoon access to new technology and capabilities going forward. Existing and future Gripen and Eurofighter Typhoon customers should see the FCAS program as a seal of approval as we together safeguard continuous fighter development within our industry. Saab is committed to both this partnership and to our contribution as a combat air lead system integrator. Being here today with two of my CEO colleagues within defense aerospace marks an important step forward in our partnership. I am happy to take Saab on this journey, as it is my strong belief that we are about to write a new successful chapter in the book of European combat air system development.
Hello everybody. 2 years ago, industry and the Royal Air Force stood alongside the UK government as it launched its combat air strategy. The strategy recognised the combat air sector as a critical national asset. It set out a vision for how the UK will remain at the forefront of this vital sector, delivering operational advantage along with significant economic benefits, including sustaining industrial capability and critical skills and providing export potential. Today I am of course speaking on behalf of UK industry and our fellow Team Tempest partners, MBDA UK, Leonardo UK and Rolls-Royce. Together we're part of a world-class national industrial base with a long shared history of developing and delivering highly successful international partnering programs. Along with the expertise in our supply chain, we represent the best of British industry working together alongside the Ministry of Defence. As you've already heard this week, we're on track to deliver an ambitious military programme for the UK, while at the same time investing in people, early careers, technology and infrastructure, supporting the economy and long-term prosperity of our nation. The Combat Air Strategy also recognised that a model based on international partnership provides the best opportunity to deliver future military requirements and our broader national objectives. By taking this approach, the UK and our partners will work together to define a system that is able to join multiple combat air capabilities to meet common objectives. Since then, we've had exploratory conversations with potential international partners to identify where there are shared goals as we develop a capable, flexible and upgradable combat air system, delivered on time and within budget. Our bilateral studies with Sweden and Italy have defined our common objectives as highlighted in our announcements last year with both nations. I'm delighted that this work has now moved into a trilateral framework which, despite the short-term challenges posed by COVID-19, is progressing rapidly. As a result, we're assessing how we can start to realise the huge potential for collaboration across our three nations. Today's announcement is a significant step forward. It sends a strong signal of continued confidence in our combat air strategy and the industry capability which supports it. We're delighted to be working closely with our long-standing industrial partners in Sweden and Italy, and we're proud of the progress we've made here in the UK. This pioneering programme is inspiring new ways of doing things. We're thinking differently and moving at a pace we've not seen before. We're doing that on the shoulders of those who built the capabilities, technologies and international relationships that enabled some of the most successful collaborations in defence. We're taking the best of our core strengths and combining that with fresh new thinking and approaches, working with the brightest minds. I'm inspired by the progress we've made, and as we move forward with all our partners, I'm excited about what more we can achieve together. Thank you.
Good morning. Last September in London, I proudly committed Italy's aerospace and defence industry to Tempest project. This project represents the start of a journey for Leonardo, Avio Aereo, Elettronica and MBDA, all of them major companies in Italy. The program has the potential to generate enormous economic benefit and vast industrial and technological advancement for Italy as well as for all our partners. Large programs such as Tempest have the potential to reach well beyond the perimeter of companies involved, so that entire supply chain, research centers, academia can increase their competitiveness also outside of the aerospace and defense sector. Today we are taking a further step in this journey. I truly believe that nations with shared values must work together in order to promote growth and prosperity of their societies. To me, Tempest perfectly embodies this approach. The cornerstone of a cross-border system for shared concept of air superiority and defense as a whole. A new mindset is needed to deliver Tempest. It will ignite the engine of progress and generate a more effective and efficient approach to the security and technology at the heart of our nations. When I spoke about Tempest last year, I highlighted how the program will be able to draw on the best of both Italian and UK expertise to meet the demanding future requirements of our air forces. I made the claim confidently, having witnessed firsthand this expertise as a CEO of Leonardo. I have now had the opportunity to deepen our engagement with Swedish industry and learn more about the depth and breadth of skills, expertise and innovation within companies like Saab. I'm now further convinced that Tempest will meet the ambitious goal we have set for ourselves in terms of timescale, cost and capability. My overall impression is that all three national industries are fully aware of the historical opportunities that this project represents for us. We share the understanding that if we succeed now, our respective industries, not only in aerospace, defense and security, will flourish for generations to come. Italy and the UK and Sweden are well matched with strong domestic defense and aerospace industries, highly skilled people and a clear knowledge of their capabilities on the global stage. I'm especially proud that our country has a clear strategy in place which support our nation's expertise and industrial competitiveness, firmly sustaining the Tempest program as a pillar and safeguard of our military and industrial future. Of course, time remains for other partners to join Tempest. We have seen other nations express an interest and we are extremely positive for the future. Today, the focus is on the trilateral agreement, which will deepen the collaboration between Italy, UK and Sweden, with a purpose of a winning partnership. I am pleased to report that the trilateral talks to date have been carried out with an open, frank and ambitious approach. We recognize the challenges that call for maintaining the unprecedented pace of the Tempest program and the need to think outside the box. There is a common understanding that all three national industries will have to work more closely and more innovatively than ever before to make this program a success. To do this, we will take advantage of any lessons learned from past programs to shape an unprecedented way of working. We will refocus our industrial capabilities to ensure that technology is developed efficiently and resourcefully. We will use Tempest as a catalyst for the formation of a more efficient and effective industrial base across Europe, which will contribute to secure our global standing well into the future. We are ready to meet these challenges. Leonardo already works closely with BAE Systems on the Eurofighter Typhoon and with Saab on the Gripen. The spirit of innovation, collaboration and friendship runs deep amongst the industries of Italy, the UK and Sweden. In Italy we have a way of saying "Il buongiorno si vede dal mattino", meaning that a good day is such since its very dawn. Tempest has a very good morning, and I believe that it will grow to be a great success in years to come. Many thanks.
Thanks for those statements. So before we delve into further detail on the announcement you've just heard, I'd like to ask each of our panelists to briefly introduce themselves. Michael, perhaps if we start with you.
Okay, Doug. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Christie. I'm Director of Future Combat Air Systems and BAE Systems, and alongside my colleagues from Leonardo UK, Rolls-Royce and MBDA UK, I was one of the founder members of Team Tempest back in 2018, and I'm proud to say that I enjoyed Farnborough Air Show very much in 2018 when we made the announcement of the Combat Air Strategy and launched Team Tempest. And since then, and literally a couple of days after that, we started the international engagement that we're going to talk more about today. So I'm looking forward to talking more about that international phase that we've moved into.
Peter?
Hi, everybody. My name is Peter Nilsson. I'm head of future programs for Saab, responsible for FCAS. Of course, I have a big team, both in aeronautics, surveillance, and dynamics, and been working in the program the last 2 years.
And last but not least, Andrea?
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrea Nativi. I'm working in corporate strategy at Leonardo. I'm dealing with market analysis and special project as this one, and I'm working on this since a couple of years. I'm pleased to be here today and to join this panel, building on the important remarks of our respective MODs and CEOs. What we have heard so far is evidence of the value of the strategic rationale for the development of a future combat air system such as Tempest. The intention of the three governments to sit together at the same table and make further significant steps ahead marks therefore a very happy moment for all of us who have been working around the clock even through this crisis that was really demanding. Let me also add that I am particularly proud to represent an industry that deeply believes in Tempest, being involved from this inception through its UK arm, but also to speak on behalf of other Italian leading businesses, Avio Aero, Elettronica, and BDA Italy, who are working hard supporting Italian MOD through this exciting journey.
Thanks, Andrea. We'll now go into some questions and answers. Michael, if you don't mind, I'll start with you. And it's 2 years since the launch of the Combat Air Strategy. Last year was clearly important in terms of getting Italy and Sweden on board. What's that meant for the campaign?
Well, it's really central because, as I said in the introduction, we moved on to international immediately after we made some of the announcements back in Farnborough 18. And the vision has always been that of a collaborative international programme. So for me, the work we've been doing bilaterally and more recently trilaterally is fundamental to building the team that we want. and when I talk about that, it's very much about trying to build a single program in multiple sites. It's an efficient team we're aiming for, and we've been the work we've been doing and the phase we've got to here has all been about trying to build that relationship. And for me, we often talk about the technical aspects of a program, but for me, the behavioural and the relationship side of it is absolutely central. So the work we've been doing internationally is actually, for me, the key to making a successful program. And as Andrea commented, that's even gone on through the recent period, and I think it's testament to the level that we've got to in our relationship across the three countries, that we've been working incredibly efficiently and effectively over the last few weeks, whilst remotely. And I think that's going to be very important when we're trying to build an efficient, effective program that will be in remote sites. We've had to live that in the last few weeks because we've had no choice. We haven't had the ability to meet face to face. So it was nice to see faces this morning on Teams, but we've had to work without it in some cases over the last few weeks, and we've been very successful in doing that.
Thanks, Michael. Peter, how have the conversations with the UK progressed over the past year, and can you give us some insight into your discussions?
Yeah, Doug, our conversations with our partners in the UK have progressed very well in the past year, as Michael says. And our main theme has been how we can together form the optimum program. We have jointly, in a close partnership with the British and the Swedish MOD, looked into a number of areas. And we have been sharing and discussing how we should best set up an affordable and sustainable FCAS program that achieves efficiency while at the same time protecting each nation's freedom of actions, with the overall goal of delivering operational advantage for our air forces in the future. And these discussions have been frank and open, and has reflected the trust that we have built up over the past 2 years. And the approach has been with the goal of maximizing the beneficial outcomes and not compromising our ambition, so we can achieve as much higher level of capability.
Thanks, Peter. Andrea, you obviously have an existing relationship and collaboration on both Typhoon and the F-35 with the UK. What's the difference, if you like, in terms of working on the FCAS project?
So, Doug, the first point is that the UK and Italy are natural combat air partners because they operate the same potent fleet of combat aircraft, Eurofighter Typhoon and F-35. So they have a strong overlap in views on the characteristics necessary for the next generation of combat aircraft, and share a close alignment on doctrine, training, and operational experience. So the same alignment and strong heritage of positive cooperation endeavors, tracing back to the Tornado if you want, and then continue it with the Typhoon, is the key to further develop the industrial cooperation for the next level into the future combat air system. What is the difference between the Tempest and the previous experience? Well, Doug, the FCAS is not just an aircraft, it's a combat air system, which in turn is part of a system of systems, and this is the key difference. So we cannot approach this new complexity, the new concept in the old way. So working on the FCAS program means also setting up the trilateral cooperation. This is not a challenge per se, we have experience in that, but the challenge is to adapt, to evolve the collaboration model to the new challenge and the new goal that we want to reach. Then you know that the industry, how the industry will work together is still to be formalized. Even if there is an aligned view that this industry group is able and willing to take on the challenge to form a win-win industrial collaboration and implement the required measure to deliver the future combat air system. A multinational partnership-based mindset for new combat aircraft program represents nevertheless a solid and consolidated experience, and this is part of Leonardo DNA. I want also to point out that the cooperation with UK is also facilitated by the fact that UK arm of Leonardo is one of the founding members of Britain Industrial Collaboration for Tempest. And we have been very keen as a company to bring our Italian expertise and capabilities to that partnership. There are many experiences, past and ongoing, that are facilitating the collaboration between Italy, UK, and Sweden that can facilitate the cooperation for the next generation combat air system.
Thanks, Andy. Michael, moving to the three-way discussions you're now having, why is that important? What's the goal?
Well, the goal's fairly simple in some respects, Doug, which is this is when we really start preparing for the real program. We've been talking so far about trying to identify common goals on a bilateral basis, and more recently on the trilateral. Moving forward into the trilateral is when we actually start to set up the real program, as Andrea was suggesting. I think the progress we've made so far, both on the bilateral and the early trilateral work, is that we've identified the common goals. There are different. It's interesting that we've got a very similar fleet between the UK and Italy, but we've also got very similar military requirements between the UK and Sweden, and actually the level of commonality, which is a key for a successful international collaboration, is very high. The other part that the key thing we've got to do going forward is to work not just on what work we do together, but also how we do it together. And as I say, the fundamental thing on this three-way work is this is when we begin to set up for a real program. It isn't just technology work, although it'll include that. It's not just demonstration work, although it will include that. It is the preparation for a major acquisition program and us getting in position to create what we want to create, which is a flexible, affordable system of systems, and one that's globally competitive. And so I guess the bottom line on this is where it gets real.
Thanks, Michael. Peter, if I can turn to you here and just ask you, what are the specific areas of focus for you, and what's your ultimate aim on the program?
Our ultimate aim is to continue to stay as a leading OEM lead system integrator within combat air. There are not, Doug, you know, there are not that many of us left in the world, and it is important to Sweden that we continue to stay in this position. The Swedish Parliament has declared combat air capability as a key area of national interest. More specifically, we are focusing on 4 important areas. First and foremost, closeness to our customer. The most important part for us in projects like FCAS is the customer. When the customer and the industry are working in close collaboration, that's when great things happen. The second part is to be part of strong industrial partnership. And we are very selective. We don't jump into just any partnership. It has to be built on respect and mutual trust. We know BAE Systems well from earlier partnerships and have existing relationships with most of the others in Team Tempest. We know their professionalism, and we know that they have the same drive as us to create a world-beating FCAS. I'm happy to find the same driving force in the Italian defense aerospace industry. This leads directly to our third and fourth area of focus, to continue to create innovative technology and solutions, and to do so in an affordable and efficient way, sharing our knowledge and experiences in using digitalization, model-based design, model-based engineering with our British and Italian partners will continue to create innovative technology and solutions for both existing platforms like the Gripen and the Eurofighter Typhoon, as well as following new generation fighter combat air systems. Last but not least, affordability and efficiency. These are not buzzwords to Saab. Anyone can build expensive and over-engineered products. Finding the right balance in close dialogue with the customer, that's what's challenging. We managed to break the cost curve with the Gripen, and we also broke the cost curve in the T7. This will also allow the governments to spend their money smarter, ensuring that projects like FCAS will contribute to the nation's economies in the most efficient and effective way possible. With Italy on board, together with UK and Sweden, I think we have all the pieces to make something really special for the future.
Thanks, Peter. Similarly, Andy, what are the specific areas of focus for you in the coming months and your goals?
First of all, you can see why we are going to make a super cooperation. I cannot agree more to what Peter and Michael have said. So we are working very, very well together, and we will continue to attain the goals, and we will share also the same goals, by the way. Tempest is an energetic project. It is time for bold and innovative moves in the combat air domain to sustain our advantage for the next generation. The Italian industry believes that Tempest is vital to the future defense of our country, and our countries actually, and to promote the development of the national industrial basis and therefore a long-term sustainable prosperity. Tempest is vital to preserve and sustain thousands of high-skilled jobs, which is fundamental and of strategic relevance, the more considering the current difficult environment in which we operate. Business and collaboration model definition is optimized through the phases of the program lifecycle. These will allow us to make an optimized program through the different phases. New collaboration models could also be developed by the customer themselves. So new industrial setup and new government setup. What is being discussed for future combat air system is going to be the benchmark. Technology development being a real key enabler, we are working and will work more in the next months and years on very advanced technologies covering the whole combat air system spectrum, which is a wide spectrum. This is one more reason to consider Tempest as a future combat air system with a super next generation combat aircraft at the core.
Thanks, Andy. Michael, how do these discussions continue alongside the progress that's already been made on Tempest, if you like?
Yeah, well, we haven't talked much about what happened since back in Farnborough 18. So since then, we launched just over 60 different technology projects and demonstration projects, and they've been progressing extremely well. And clearly, we have to get to the point where these two, where the work we're doing internationally and the work we've been doing nationally converge. And the discussions we've been having internationally are about how we'll work together with partners. And you've heard the theme as we've talked here. Every partner brings strengths, and effectively the Tempest programs that we've been going on with, these 60 plus technology programs, alongside what the Italian and Swedish colleagues bring into the party, will come together into the programme. And we've been driving very hard on that over the last 2 years, because within the UK, we submit an outline business case later this year. And within that, we were always aiming for a particular level of maturity on those Tempest projects. And I'm pleased to say that we've at least achieved them, and in some cases exceeded them, and done so at very great pace, which is part of what we've been talking about here. We've been using some of the model-based techniques and different approaches to things, both from a technology point of view, but also from a people point of view. So all of that is going to provide fundamental evidence into the outline business case this year for the UK. And then what we've got to do is to, with our international partners, make sure that the decision-making processes in each country lead us towards the ultimate goal of the programme. But yeah, I'm pleased to say that the Tempest stuff has gone very well over the last 2 years, and that's across the national partner. So that's ourselves in BAE, Leonardo, MBDA, and Rolls-Royce. Significant technology demonstration work has gone on there, and as we sit here today, there's well over 1,500 people working on the project, and that's building up over the next year, and it represents a significant effort in sort of developing for the next generation. So yeah, alongside all the international work, we've carried on with that national endeavour, as have our international partners, and I'm looking forward to bringing all that together into a single programme to achieve what we've all talked about. Is we want a world-beating programme here. We're not just going to be an also-ran, and the technologies and the capabilities we all bring as partners are going to be a key part of that.
Thanks for that, Michael, and thank you, Michael, Peter, and Andrea, for joining me today to talk about today's announcement. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.